Hey guys, it's Bazza here from Living in Beta. Today we have another gamer's glance for you, this time checking out A Plague Tale Requiem, developed by Asobo Studio. We'll be giving our initial impressions, likes and dislikes, as well as a recommendation towards the end. Welcome to 14th century medieval France. Before we dive in, let's cover off a brief intro. A Plague Tale Requiem is the sequel to 2019's A Plague Tale Innocence. You once again take control of Amicia, looking to further understand and potentially remedy Hugo's affliction, known as the Prima Macula. Following in the same vein as its predecessors, this is very much a story-driven game, with a sharp focus on narrative. Players can expect a well-realised world, great atmosphere, as well as engaging gameplay. With that said, let's jump into the game. A Plague Tale Requiem is set in 14th century medieval France. Following on from the events of the first game, you pick up with Amicia and Hugo de Rune, who appear to be enjoying some much deserved peace and happiness. After the events of Innocence, the group have headed further south. This includes their mother, Beatrice, a skilled alchemist, as well as her apprentice, Lucas.
But soon we won't be alone in it anymore. We'll have the best alchemists by our side.
This short-lived peace is quickly shattered when the pair stumble onto forbidden ground. The occupants, whose identity is not yet revealed to the player, are immediately hostile, threatening to slaughter Amicia, who they refer to as yet another thief.
We'll leave if you show us how.
Lies!
I swear! I don't know what's happening here, but we have nothing to do with it.
Lies! You bloody thieves! I'll cut you to pieces!
Run!
The resulting trauma leads to the reawakening of Hugo's Prima Macula. Managing to briefly subdue Hugo's affliction, the group travel to the Red City to seek refuge as well as the help of Magister Valden. The world of Requiem, much like its predecessor, is visually stunning, with deep, vibrant colours contrasting with washed-out greys of the plague-afflicted areas. Walking through the Red City upon arrival, you'll hear the hustle and bustle of the local market, as well as Amicia and Hugo's commentary. This all helps to keep you immersed in the world Asobo has constructed.
She's and combs from Firenze. Try them, my lady. Why not change your hairstyle?
Thank you, but I like it like this.
Oh, good for you. A woman's hair is her righteous crown.
Beautifully said.
The character models have incredible detail down to individual scars and blemishes. Unfortunately, the lip syncing can be lacking. However, it's serviceable enough not to drag you out of the experience. Overall, the world is stunning, enticing you to play for just another 30 minutes before heading to bed. From what we've played so far, the gameplay of Requiem seems similar to Innocence. Players will primarily control Amicia, making use of stealth, combat, and puzzle solving to progress through the world.
Spear, shield. Mars, that's it.
Amicia again relies on her trusty rock sling to dispose of enemies. However, there is also now a close combat option which is appreciated, for when you're in a sticky situation and need a bit of extra spice. This primarily consists of hitting specific quicktime events. Players also now have access to a sneak attack right off the bat, as well as a knife. The knife can be used as a get out of jail free card when being grabbed by an enemy. Alchemy returns from the first game, allowing the player to craft various beneficial tools that can expand their arsenal, such as Ignifer, the ability to craft flaming projectiles to light specific areas of the environment. Movement is fairly basic, with the player able to climb over or crawl under obstacles, crouch as well as sprint. Pretty standard fare for a third-person title such as this. It works well and makes sense in the context of the characters you're playing as. Where things get interesting is the skill tree. Rather than going down the traditional route of allowing the player to allocate their skills, Requiem will automatically improve Amicia's skills based on your playstyle. You'll have combat, stealth, and opportunism. Let's say you stealth your way through an area without engaging in combat. Amicia will gain experience towards a stealth upgrade, such as reduced noise of footsteps. This type of organic skill tree system is a refreshing change from the standard route of saving up your points and power leveling when needed. It allows Amicia's improved proficiency to feel natural and in keeping with what she learns via gameplay throughout the adventure. There will no doubt be further additions that are sprinkled in as we continue to explore what Requiem has to offer. In terms of performance, we played a Plague Tale Requiem on a desktop consisting of an i7 paired with an RTX 3080 at 1440p resolution. We enabled DLSS, choosing the balance setting with graphics set to ultra. For the vast majority of our time with the game so far, performance has been steady, rarely dipping below 60. There are definitely moments where things get a little choppy, however for the most part it's been smooth sailing. A lot of players have mentioned the inconsistent performance on PC, so perhaps this is something we'll encounter the more we play. I think it's worth spending a little bit of time tweaking the settings to achieve the balance of good performance and visuals, if playing on PC of course. There will no doubt be a couple of patches further down the line which address these performance issues. Moving on to price, A Plague Tale Requiem is available day one via Game Pass. If you haven't yet signed up, you can get a trial which costs only £1 for the first month. This is a no-brainer for those who are unsure on the game but want to give it a try. If buying on console or Steam however, you'll be forking out £40 or around $45. Considering most games are hitting the £60 to £70 mark now, this is more than reasonable, for around 15 to 20 hours of carefully crafted content. For those who are new here, we use a unique system for our recommendations. This from worst to best is Keep the Receipt, a game which failed to live up to expectation and isn't worth playing. One Night Stand, a game which could be worth a dabble if there's nothing else in your backlog that takes your fancy. Frequent Fallback, a game which is decent enough to return to once you finish playing your most anticipated titles. Pull a Sickie, a game which is so good it's worth the guilt of faking illness to get a day off work. And finally, Book a Week Off, a game that's so great you need to sacrifice a week's annual leave to satisfy your urge to binge this beauty. A Plague Tale Requiem achieves the coveted Pull a Sickie, a rich narrative experience with a world that hooks you from the get-go. Fans of story-driven games should not miss this one. So guys, that's our first thoughts and initial impressions on A Plague Tale Requiem. Let us know in the comments if you're planning to pick up Requiem. If you enjoyed the video, drop us a like and subscribe if you want to see more. As always, I'll catch you in the next one.